Good afternoon, 8th graders. This will be our video on how to deal with when there's an additional item added to a set of data, how that affects the averages. So it'll be page 32. And a big concept coming into this is that if you know the average of a set of numbers and you know how many numbers there are, you can get back to the sum. So if you know the average and you know how many numbers there are, you can get back to the sum. So for instance, like we did today, I think we said Jason had an average of what was something like 9.9, right? We knew there were 8 numbers, so the way you found that average is you divided the sum by how many numbers there were. There were 8. So if we only knew the average, but we knew there were 8 numbers, we could get back to the sum. We could work backwards. So that's the average. We could get back to the sum, 79.2. That was what, feet, I think, right? So you're going to have to kind of think about that. If you know the average or the mean, you know how many numbers there are, you can get back to it. So for example, if you have 5 items or 5 numbers, and their average is 18. You could get back to the sum. Multiply how many numbers there were by what the average was, and that will get you to the sum. And then we're going to deal with, okay, how do you know what to do if there's a number added? So the number 24 is added to the data set. So for example, pretend these are the numbers. You don't know what they are, but there's 5 of them. Right now, these 5 numbers have a mean of 18. You want to know what the new mean will be when 24 is added. Okay. So first step, you find the sum, or the answer to addition, of this original set of numbers by multiplying the mean by how many numbers there were. So if you look down here, it's the same example below. And we put little things here to help you out. So you want to get to the original sum. That's the first thing you need to get to. You need to get to how much all those numbers added up to. So the way we do that is we multiply whatever that average was, which was the 5. I'm sorry, how many numbers there were. There were 5 numbers. And you multiply by whatever the mean was, which is 18. And that will get you the original sum, what all those numbers add up. See these 5 numbers up here? So this one, this one, this one, this one. They all added up to 90 because those 5 numbers had an average of 18. So we work backwards. All right, now we say the number 24 is put into the data set. So since we want to find the new mean, to find the mean, you need the sum. You need to know what they all add together to. So we already have the first sum. We have this new number. So the new sum is just going to be our original sum plus the new number. So plus that 24 equals 114. Now you have to think about, so add the new data to the original sum. That'll get you a new sum. Okay, now you have to think about how you're going to get back to the average. How are you going to get to the average of this set of data now? So right now there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers. Their sum is 114. So it's like you do with any set of data. You just divide the sum, or what they add to, by how many numbers there were. So there were 6 numbers, so we divide by 6. So 114 divided by 6 will be, I think, 15. No, that's wrong. It'll be 19. So that's the new average. And we'll do one more example together, and then you'll do the last one. Okay, so the average score of a player on a basketball team is 11 points for every game. So a new player joined the team, and that player averaged 14 points a game. What will be the new average for the team as a whole after the player joined? So the new player would be the 9th player. So if the new player is the 9th player, that means before there were 8. So a basketball team with 8 players had that 11-point average. First thing we need to do is we need to get back to what the sum was originally. So like we say up here, I forgot to put divide. We multiply the average, which was 11, by how many numbers, or in this situation, players there were. So each player has their own number. So 8 players times the 11-point average. So that means on total, the team, well, the sum of all their average points are 88 points. Then this new player joined, and he has 14 points a game. So we add that to the original sum, and now we're going to have a new sum, which is 102 points. And then we want to divide by how many players, how many numbers, which is the same thing as how many players there are after the player joined, which was 9. So divide by 9. And I'll need a calculator for that one. So 102 divided by 9 would get you 11 and 3 repeating. So about a third, 11 and a third points. So the average went up a little bit. And that makes sense, right? Because the new player had more than the original average. Okay, so you're going to do the last one on your own. Now you're going to need to think, you might want to copy down these 3 things here, so that those 3 right there, bringing them down, it's going to help you. Try to look at the pattern here and get this problem done. Make an attempt, please. All right, see you later.